Hi, welcome to Star Properties Inspiring Individuals series. Today we have two very exciting individuals who have managed to take their time from their busy schedules to come and join us. My name is Ernest Toll, and welcome. I'd like to introduce our two top guests for today. They're none other than Dato Adrian Wang and Datin Jaime. Welcome. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for your invitation.
Excellent. Now, one of the things that is very interesting that I've realized and I've noticed, especially in the real estate industry in Malaysia, is that not many real estate industries or agencies are run by a husband and wife team, and both of you are the forefront individuals for CBD. So maybe we could take a step back and ask, what does CBD mean in terms of the branding of your agency?
CBD actually means Central Business District. When I started this properties agency, I've been searching my head whether I should use back my name or find some of the unique name. So suddenly one day, this name struck me because I see this name in one of the advanced country like in Australia, Central Business District. So they named the town as a CBD. So when I checked with the board, CBD name was not being used, so I registered CBD Properties.
Okay, well done. So were you already at that point in time a married couple already when you started it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
well done. Can I just also go to one step further behind that? How did you get involved in the industry? How did you get to become or decide to become a real estate agent?
This is a long story. I actually graduated in the year 1997. I was a civil engineer, graduated in from Oklahoma State University. The time when I come back, market is still very good, and then I attached to be one of the construction firm and doing design work. So during the 1997 end of December, the market crashed. So when market crash, our company basically are not doing well already. So I was stuck to the company for almost 2.5 years. Then from a technical engineer, I moved to the sales line, selling engineering product. So during the time, I met somebody, my ex-colleague told me, there is also real estate agent business, they're selling houses. Then he struck me that, let me find out more what is actually real estate business, because I didn't know there is such called business selling houses, even not in the university courses. Okay, I start to find out more. Then I asked him actually how they make the income. Then he told me he's one of friends actually making a lot of money, 5-figure money at a very young age. So okay, I decided to find out more. So I went to the Help University to find out the course. So then he asked me, okay, before I have to save for the course, better to have some experience. So I need to attach with one of the agency. So then, okay, I took back some information. 6 months later, I found an agency to attach in Bangsa. The first company is CY Hatta. So I become the so-called started with some odd job lah.
Okay.
The first month, I learned from the principal and start to apply advertise. So very lucky on the second month, I have some listing, and on the third month actually I closed my first property.
Well done.
So from there, I decided I want to go in this full time, and start to enroll the class in Help Institute for the diploma class. So after study of 3 years, then 2 years of probation estate agents under the agency, I go for the interview and I got my license.
Well done.
I got my license in year 2007 January. So CBD was established as a sole proprietor in March 2007.
How long was that journey from the time you decided to venture into it until you started CBD?
Actually, I took 5 years. 5 years I positioned I was a negotiator. I'm doing focus on the individual sales. Then the company also promote me to become a team leader. So I start to have a small team, 3 person to run some developer projects. Then from there, I move on. But during these 5 years, I would say it's a very challenging years. I have to work very hard, and I even have to attend a lot of courses and training.
Courses that are not specifically about real estate or external courses?
I attended like courses like some motivation classes, especially salesperson. The motivation is very, very important, and changing the mindset.
Okay.
From the 9 to 5 job to the entrepreneur mindset. So basically, there is no salary, no basic, nothing. We just earn the money on our result.
Can I ask you, coming back to prior to you becoming an engineer, were there any real estate professionals in your family? Your brothers, sisters, your parents? Was there anybody who was already doing real estate?
Oh no, especially I'm from a small town like Port Dickson. I do see people selling property, but it's more like introduced from each other, from the neighbor, or maybe they do the transaction at the coffee shop. Okay. Somebody want to sell a piece of land and somebody can do. I heard these people are selling that. I thought this profession it's not a profession, it's just an introducer fee, introducer to somebody to A to B. But even though when I came to here, I also didn't know there is the real estate agency assist until I came out to work. If I know earlier, probably I would choose my course, my degree, my degree course into the more on the valuation or more on the property management and plus the estate agency. So because of the my first degree was the civil engineering. So when I come back, I have to study again. So there are 12 subjects for me to study. Even though as an engineer, I still had to go for the building tech, all the accounting, marketing, all over again for 12 subjects. I had to pass it in 2 years, but I failed my law. I failed my law, so I had to receive my property law on the 3rd year.
I see.
So finally, yeah, thank God, finish everything in time.
Well done. Well done.
Then the practical year will be we have to write the daily dialogue, daily report every day. So then after write down, we have to ask the principal to acknowledge and sign on the activities. Then we submit the logbook to the board of valuer and estate agents for interview. Then only then they can grant us a license to practice.
Understood. Datin, what about yourself? I mean, were you exposed to the real estate industry prior to meeting your husband?
No, actually. After I graduated from the US, I came back and I started my job in the tourism industry actually. Because I was studying hotel management, and then for about 2.5 years after that, I went into the hotel industry. I was attached with YTL Hotels, and that was for about 5 years. So how I actually came into the industry was when Adrian got his license, and then he asked me if I wanted to join him and start a company. So I was a bit hesitant because during his journey as a real estate negotiator, right, I got to know that income can be inconsistent, especially they don't have basic pay, and then from employment point of view, I still get my monthly salary. So at least if anything happens, right, at least I can support and all that. But then finally he managed to convince me to leave the job that I actually like a lot. So I just give it a try and see how it goes.
I understand that right now, or you're also in the process of taking your exams as well to qualify as a valuer.
Yeah, I actually when I was still in the hotel industry, he actually encouraged me to go for the valuation, which I did. I studied part-time, and then after that, because the subjects are quite tough, because it's very technical and it's something that I have not been exposed to before. So but because of his encouragement, and also because I feel that if I have that knowledge, then it will be very helpful to me, to be able to share with with the colleagues, and also help me with my daily job as well. Yeah.
Okay. So coming back towards CBD, would it be right to say that it's now in its 9th year?
We are actually celebrating our 10th year this year.
Done. Congratulations. It's been a long journey. Can you share a little bit about the journey? And I presume you have been in CBD since 2007 itself?
Yes.
Well done. So how has this 10 years been?
Okay. When I encouraged her to come to join CBD, so I asked her to take care on the office admin. I will be taking care on the training on the agents, and then more on the lobbying some project to let the company agents to market. So we started with 4 person. Then one of them is actually a banker, and one of them is an experienced negotiator. So we start together. Then along the way, I mindset is very positive mindset. I call back all my clients, some of the developer clients like NASA TDDI. I call Dato Johan back. I say I'm now having a license. I'm the property agency now. So perhaps any job or any project that I can work on. So then he said, okay, there is a first job in the Taman Tun, the project called TDDI Plaza, just completed. He needed an estate agent to do the secondary sales and helping him to do the leasing. So I said, okay, I don't mind to take up the challenge. So from there, one project by second, third, then more and more developer actually seen us. They give us opportunity to become their marketing agent. So then from there, my sub-sale team also grow. Then from one branch, I decided to open another branch in the KL near the Pudu. So I joined venture with another license holder to open up the branch. Then followed by Puchong. Then every year without fail, we open 1 to 2 branches. Currently, we have total 12 branches all over Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 9 in KL and 3 outstation in Selamban, JB, Johor Bahru, and Penang.
Okay. On the island itself?
Yeah, on the island.
Well
This
done.
will be under the Malaysia license. Then we do a partnership in Cambodia, and looking forward to have more in the Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I also noticed that you're very, very active in the sense that you're not just looking at the Malaysian market, you're looking at taking international properties abroad and into Malaysia, and overseas properties into Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
What's the general trend, if you don't mind me asking, about property tastes for Malaysians right now? Are they more exposed to wanting to buy overseas properties or wanting to buy properties outside their state?
Yeah, the international handled by Jaime.
Well done.
He's the right person.
I feel that Malaysians do have an appetite for, in diversifying their portfolio, especially those that have invested quite a bit in the Malaysian market. So for those who are actually looking into buying long-term property investment, some of the popular countries would include like Australia, UK, Singapore. Yeah. So for us, we do market a lot of Australia projects, from in Perth or in Melbourne or in Sydney. So a lot because of their needs as well, because some of them, they send their kids to Australia to study, so there is a need to actually purchase a home rather than renting. So they rather buy and let their kids to stay, and some because of migration purpose as well. Yeah.
Understood. Any interest in the I would say, traditional countries of choice like Australia, UK, and Singapore? We've been hearing a lot of that. Any interest with property purchases in, say, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, or even Vietnam or Myanmar by Malaysians? Would there be any interest in that sense?
I heard we tried to market one property in Thailand and Philippines, selling quite well during the low US currency, which is about the time conversion price is about 3.2 to 3.3. We did quite well for these Philippine projects. And Thailand, okay, but not recently anymore because of US currency is very high, and especially in Cambodia, the prices also they calculated on the US dollar.
Yes.
So after the conversion, actually is quite high, and most of these property have to purchase by cash. There's no house, no loan.
Yeah.
So that's why at the end of the day, Malaysia still prefer to go for Australia. They can get a loan, or even Singapore, they can get a loan to purchase.
Just coming back towards our public or our viewers who essentially are not professionals yet but are thinking of building their wealth, I just want to take you both back to a time where, prior to your first property, how and what do you all think about property at that point in time? Was property, say, a wealth asset generator, or was property more of a, okay, I got place to stay, at least I have one, and one is enough? What was your mindset at that point in time?
Oh, for me, I bought my first property at the age of 24, small apartment. The time, I don't know how to choose the right property. I just because I need a shelter, I just buy one. And unfortunately, I bought the one apartment that is next to the highway, next to the NKV highway. So it's very, very noisy. So the time I moved in already, we moved in already about 9 months. I decided to sell it off. The time I just started real estate business not long ago, about talking about 1 year. I feel myself have a burden and stress, quite stressful. So I decided to sell off the property and I moved to the landed property and rent a room. I rented a room, and then from there I performed better because with a clearer mind, no stress, I did much better. I start to accumulate my income. Then I find the property that I would like. I went for the Ara Damansara, the Sandabi project, and get the balloting. So to choose a property is very, very important. So the moment I know how to choose a property, I go for Ara Damansara. I study the whole master plan, and again the title, everything has to be freehold, all this. So I chose the property and I sold the property at a very good price. In fact, we sold at the almost 200% increment.
Wow, well done.
Yeah. So along the year, when we have come across a good property, and then we buy, and with the assistance of the bank loan, to make our investment return much more better.
So would it be correct to say that both of you started thinking the property is more of a shelter, and then getting into the game, getting your feet wet, then realizing that it can actually help push beyond just being a shelter, but it can actually be much more?
Yes.
So what's your philosophy about properties right now? And I know that you have young children. What do you tell your children now?
I guess being in the industry do help a bit in terms of learning how to select a good property to invest, and of course when we meet different people who are investors, right? So we do get to learn from them as well about investment and all that. And for my kids, because they're still quite young, so I'm not sure whether they do understand, about investment. But of course, sometimes they follow us to work, so they will learn about going to different locations, looking at different types of properties, and then sometimes they will ask like questions about why do we need to have like so many properties? What is it for? And all those things like that. But as parents, I would say that in general, buying property can actually, help to preserve the wealth for the kids in the future. Because as you know, properties are also getting very expensive. And if let's say we don't do better planning now, in the future it may be quite difficult for them to start, starting their own home.
What would your advice be for someone who's just gotten their first job, working for maybe 5-6 months, thinking between buying an expensive car, going for round-the-world vacations? What do you tell them?
This one I can relate to my ex-colleague. He was also an engineer. He's my very good mentor, I would say. He keep on educated us as a young engineer, right? Don't spend too much money on the car, okay? And try to get the house that is nearer to the office. Save a lot of traveling time, and try to save a lot of things. Even he is very rich, and he's sometimes just taking a motor out for his transportation. So I still remember his word. He always encourage young people save more money and go something that is appreciation rather than depreciation. Like we know car is a depreciation product, but houses is appreciation. But depends on how much we can appreciate. Also depend on timing. But at this moment, market is challenging. But I feel there are some good buy property Some property are below market price, you can actually buy in to stay. And to choose the first property, I always believe don't overstress yourself, because like myself, I started this industry as a real estate agent. Why I sell the house? Because of the commitment and the stress. So try to look something that is not so much commitment. The best idea is 20% or 30% of your income to pay for the installment, not too high. I know some of the youngsters encouraged by the parents, okay, must go into something expensive. End up they're paying 50-60% of their salary into houses. So I don't think they will be happy. They can't enjoy the teenage time, the youth. When you can see people do more investment, and he can't. All his income has to go to the particular house, as there's no more extra income for investment anymore.
I see. So buy the correct size.
Correct
don't
size,
overbuy.
Don't overbuy.
Yeah, and know what you're buying.
Yes.
I'm actually very curious. I mean, you said you were in the industry already, and you selected a property that eventually you wanted to sell. How did you select that unit? Was it because it was on sale? Was it cheap? Or someone, a family friend said, okay, come and buy my property, that's why you took it? The first one.
The first one, I bought it because I stay nearby. During year 2000, market is actually still very, very down. There is only one project launched nearby Taman Mayang. So I look at it, it's only 99,000. Every month repayment is about 800 ringgit. So it's within my budget. So that's why I make the decision to buy. But again, I bought without thinking the direction, without thinking a lot of the noise. So end up, but anyhow, still make money. Choosing the right property is very important. Choosing the right property at that location, even though I don't like it, I still sell with 35% profit.
Wow, well done. And that's how long after that you sold?
3 years plus another 1 year, 4 years.
4 years, wow, nearly 10% per year. That's well done.
Yes.
Well done.
That's why choosing the property is very important. Choose the established area, and the best is affordable. Because affordable, when we sell it, also affordable to somebody, the margin is still there.
Understood. Now, I'm sure you both have read in the papers or been exposed to the mass media that says that 2017 will be a challenging year. A slowdown in the economy, bank lending rates have been very, very low. Some even quoted anywhere from 35 to even 45%. That means quite a high rejection rate. As business owners for real estate industry and agency, business for you is only when people transact. And when they buy, of course, when they rent is a separate matter altogether. How do you see 2017 for you as a business, as an agency business?
2017, I look at it as a positive. I position our company as a niche market. We only do certain project that is affordable and what actually the client want. So compared to 2016 is much better because a lot of developers start to design their project into a newer trend, a newer design, or more affordable to the investor. And January we have just launched one project which is very sellable because it's very affordable. It's only about 299,000 in Ampang, near KLCC. So these are the product. And I believe 2017 will do well because of our Ringgit week, and there is a lot of tourists come to Malaysia. Yeah, this will boom certain area like especially KL or Penang and JB. A lot of FDI will be coming in.
Well done. If, for instance, I were a viewing person and I said, how do I get involved in the industry? There's so many agencies out there. What would you say if I came to you and say, hey, what's the difference with CBD?
Okay. I would say we have studied a lot of business model, compared at so many agencies for the last 10 years, and then we find our niche. First of all, I like to build CBD into the corporate company. So even though we are husband and wife, but we work on our responsibility and our task. So we design a company that we grow all our people from the negotiator. We give them the chance to grow from the negotiator to the leader. Then after that we can promote them into the division. From the division, they can branch out So it's a step by step. At the end of the day, is they can become their own entrepreneur, own boss by themselves. So the platform is there, and then I'll give you a lot of freedom, and then I'll give mentoring to the people, to my people, to do one-to-one mentoring, to share what actually I know. And I also went out for training. I get training, then I come back and I share with them what actually I have learned, and so that they can in line with the company. And most important will be our CBD, the vision and mission. They know, they fully understand our the vision and the mission and core value, so the people will go on.
What's your vision?
Okay, my vision would be we want to connect the world through real estate. CBD want to connect the world through real estate, because we always believe in the IT now, with all the apps, with the Uberization. So we have this vision to use IT to connect the world through real estate. And furthermore, just now Jaime has mentioned about people investing now out of the border, out of country. So investing property has become a knowledge, or so-called a skill already.
I see.
So to make it faster, we have all this IT support to give them a lot of information to study. And then our company also implement a lot of IT support to let our agents work freely, and they can be update their account, and they can keep track all their expenses, and they can do their CRM, customer relation management, through the apps. So that all the agent will be very, very focusing on their client. And our mission is to we are caring and passionate to provide real estate services to our clients.
Well done.
So the caring is always a mention when they want to set CBD, the caring and the passionate. Without the passionate, I don't think I can be here for more than 15 years. The passion very, very important. So it keep me on going with the innovative marketing strategy, learning.
So from 2007 with 4 negotiators,
Yes.
2017 with 12 branches
Yes.
in just Malaysia alone.
Yes.
How big have you grown?
We have 400 all registered agents now.
Wow, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And what's your vision for the next 20 years with CBD?
I would say we focus in Malaysia. There's a lot of area that we have not actually put a foot down, like East Malaysia, or East Coast, like your hometown Ipoh. All these are a good area to have one agency there. Then from there, see how we go to the Southeast Asia, other country with partnership with people like China. We also had a partnership with China. So this is how we're thinking.
What kind of qualities, if someone were to be interested in saying, would you consider my application? What kind of qualities are you looking for?
You mean negotiator or
As a
the
negotiator.
business? Negotiator. Okay, negotiator, first of all, we have a career talk. We do a career talk, and they come over to listen to the talk. Then from there, we see their interests. Basically, I have trained people that is Form 5, and I also train people who are graduated, and even some of business owner. But regardless about their background, everybody, they have their own strength. Even I can train some bankruptcy to become a millionaire today. It's all depend on their personal, the passion, and how much they want to learn, how much they want to work.
What quality are you looking for?
First of all, they work hard, and professional, and honesty. This is very
Interesting.
very
Honesty.
Honesty is very important in this industry. We can't cheat anybody, So that's why I always emphasize about that. Work hard, work smart. Be responsible agents.
Wow. Okay. Well, it looks as though you've put together a very strong proposition for CBD from day one to where it is right now, with Datin and Jaime as well together side by side. And it also sounds as though both of you have separate and independent roles, even though within the same organization. Is working together difficult at times because of the proximity? Can I just
Actually,
ask this
before we
expression?
started setting up the company, right? Some of my friends say, "Are you sure you want to work?" There might be some disagreements and all that. I would say that there will always be disagreements in certain ways, because we are brought up differently. Our education background is different. But what we learn throughout this journey, right, is that we learn how to compromise with each other, and also respect each other's ideas as well. and a lot of decision making. You know, we come together and resolve problems. So in a way, we have to learn how to communicate with each other. You know, because and no doubt that we have different roles, but there are certain things that you know, we have to decide together. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing, she's very good. She's very patient. She's very understanding. One thing, beauty of her, she is a very, very supportive wife.
A great partner, I can see that. It's a great partner.
Yes, and then I practice as an engineer, so I always want to use system. Once is design and draw, so everything follow through.
Okay. Well done. Well, maybe for the last question, I would like to ask, what's your vision in terms of Malaysians owning property? Is property ownership important for Malaysians? Should they really put this as the #1 priority in their minds?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, because I say property, no doubt, is part of the investment tools, and the most important is also a shelter for everyone. And you can see some of the Western country, they used to rent houses, but recently, because of the property's price has gone up, they also start to educate their children, own the property, and make use of the bank facility to leverage. Leveraging is very, very important in the investment and buying a house. So, like buying a property for, say, for example, 500,000, you just need to come up with 10% for the youngster, and 90% is leverage. People are giving 90% for you to stay a house. So why not? Our interest is very, very low. So plus the inflation of 4.5% to 5%, after 20 years, you can see the house is easily double, triple.
Well done.
So if you don't do that now, forever renting, and there is you don't know, one day the property price really go very, very high and become very affordable. It's become a stress to the family.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, Dato, Datin, and
Thank
sharing
you.
with us your insight and inmost thoughts about how to run a business together, how to actually be very focused and excel in your career. Well, thank you so much for viewing. This is our Inspiring Individuals series for this month. With Dato and Datin, Dato Adrian, Wang, and Datin Jaime Chu, we'd like to say thank you for watching.